Hey guys, it's been a long time since I've done one of these one-to-one videos. I'm actually very excited to do it. I love doing it. I almost feel like I'm talking to you direct, even though we're recording and it's going to be edited and etc, etc. And you're not here with me in my living room. I still feel like I'm talking to you direct. Yeah, it's been a long time since I've done one of these. And I'm going to bring them back. I'm going to start doing them often. And I'm also going to be bringing you more videos on my YouTube channel a lot more frequently. Quick little thing I'm going to mention before I get into it is I've actually got Cody walking around the house at the moment, testing it out to see whether he's going to be a nuisance or not when I'm recording. If he isn't, then I'll let him roam about. If he is, then I'm going to have to put him outside. And for some of you who haven't been following me for a little while, this is Cody. And no, you can't chew your bone while we do this, man. It's gonna make noise, okay? Yeah, so, yeah, it's been a while since I've done this. So what I'm thinking is, I get lots of questions from you guys that, you know, it's the same questions, you know, and even though I answer them, and I answer them in comments or maybe in a message or a DM, etc. When I have a video like this explaining some of the answers to your questions, it's actually better because a lot of you guys prefer YouTube. YouTube is awesome, you can share content a lot easier. So today's question, actually before we even dive into today's question, I want to say a big thank you actually to you guys that have been following me for like years now, you know, following everything I've done and supporting me, coming out to see me when I go to expos, you know, just coming to meet me and shake my hand. It's amazing, you know. I think I've been in the industry now since 2012, so it's quite a long time, you know. And yeah, it's really appreciated. Trust me, I really appreciate it. I hope I show appreciation when you guys come up to me one-to-one. You guys approach me all the time. Obviously, you guys know I live in LA now, and I train at Gold's Gym Venice, and every day you guys come up to me from all different countries, and you want to take a picture, etc., and have a chat, and I'm always willing to, you know. So I just want to say a big thank you to you guys, and I appreciate your consistency with me. And consistently, I got that t-shirt on today. For you guys who don't know, I've launched Just Lift clothing at justlift.com. It's its own brand, and yeah, we've got some awesome clothing. So I'd love for you guys to go check it out. Today I'm wearing the consistency tee. I have a passion tee and patience, you know, the values that I stand by and I'm always preaching on about. And so you want to rep that, go check it out at justlift.com. Okay, so today's question that we're gonna discuss is, you guys, whenever I post a good picture of my physique, you guys say to me, Simeon, why do you not compete? You know, I see it all over YouTube comments, I see it on Instagram all the time, and you guys want to know why I don't compete. You know, some of you are new to following me, so you probably won't know that I have competed back in the past, and some of you who've been following me for years know that I did compete, and they're wondering why I don't compete anymore. So why don't I compete? Okay, so for you guys that followed me for years know I love training. Training for me is one of the best things in the world, man. It's changed my life, clearly, and I love it to bits. It's fantastic. But for me, when I started training, it was the love of training that captured me, and it's for that reason that I've had this longevity in it. For those of you who don't know, I've been training 18 years, which is a very long time. I'm sure some of you guys aren't even 18 years old yet, you know, so 18 years is a very long time. And in that, when I say I've been training 18 years, you're gonna speak to people that say the same or, you know, or more. But when I say I've trained 18 years, I mean I've not had a break since I started. The longest I've had off from training consecutively is like 4 days, you know. I've not had any breaks in my training career. Yeah, training is what I love, and the thing that has kept me going with training is the enjoyment I get out of the act of training, not the competition side. Now, when I started, I've told the story many times, so I'm not going to do it today, but I started quite young. I started at about 14, 15 years old, and I loved it from the beginning. From the first pump with a dumbbell, it felt fantastic for me, and I knew that it was something that I wanted to do like all the time, and I wanted to feel good with it. So yeah, like competing was never on the cards. It was never on the cards for me. When I started training, like I said, I was just enjoying the movements and enjoying the pump that I was getting from it. I wasn't even too concerned with how my physique was looking or would look in the long run. It was literally just, I'm in the moment, I'm enjoying my session. This feels good to me. I enjoy doing this. So yeah, like I said, competing wasn't on the cards at all. I didn't know anything about competitive bodybuilding. I didn't know who was in it or what they did. Obviously, I knew about Arnold Schwarzenegger from the very beginning, but I knew of him as a famous bodybuilding actor. You know, I didn't know of the Olympia, you know, or what it was about. You know, I knew Arnold Schwarzenegger. I didn't really know about competitive bodybuilding. So yeah, I trained at home for probably, I think, about 5 to 6 years. And then I finally got to the gym, and it was in the gym, obviously, that I started to learn about bodybuilders, like famous bodybuilders, you know, and competing, because many of the guys in the gym competed. And there was pictures all over my gym of competitive bodybuilders, you know, and yeah, it still didn't interest me though. It was like, okay, cool, that's, you know, another side to it, but I just love lifting. And walking into a gym after training at home for like 6-7 years, I did actually have the manager of that gym, or even any other gym that I walked into, people would say to me, do you compete? You should, you know, you look really good. And for me, it was, you know, it was a compliment, but I was like, nah, compete, nah, it's not for me. Didn't see the point of it back then, you know. I actually used to think to myself, I don't get why people want to go and see guys in some pants on stage. It makes no sense to me at the time. And then I eventually went to a show. There was someone competing at my gym, and we went to see him, and I loved the show. I can actually remember being in the crowd, looking to my left and looking to my right and seeing other people from my gym, and we were cheering on this guy, and the energy was just awesome. And I thought to myself, hold on, this is actually quite cool. I wouldn't mind being up on the stage and sharing my physique. You know, I'd been training like 10 years now when I was at this show, and I thought, yeah, I could definitely go up there and, you know, show my physique that I could do this, and it looked fun. So I think I left there with a newfound enthusiasm, and I started prepping for my first show. And my first show was a Muscle Mania show. No, actually, before I even did my first show, I went to watch a Muscle Mania show. So I went to the Muscle Mania Championships in Paris, and I watched that show. I met a good long-term friend that I've had for years now, my friend Benjamin Radic. Me and him have been friends since that day. I met him at that show, and he was competing. And yeah, we just hit it off, and we've been good friends since then. And yeah, so I watched the show, and yeah, I was like, yeah, okay, I understand what it's all about now, and I'm gonna do my first show, you know. And I started prepping. Now, it's funny to me because one of the things that I want you guys to understand, for me, when I say that I don't compete, people say, yeah, you know, it's hard, you know, all the dieting and all this and etc. It's so hard. That's not the reason I don't compete. I did not find dieting hard. I enjoyed it. It was like, personally, obviously, you guys know I stay quite lean. So for me to get that extra bit, you know, extra lean for the show was not a challenge. Well, it was a challenge, but it wasn't a big challenge, you know. It wasn't a stressful time for me, you know. When you speak to people that are like, competing is so tough. I hate it. I'm groggy. I'm tired. I'm hungry, etc. And for me, none of those negatives are the reason why I wasn't competing. You know, it was, hold on. Sorry, Cody, I gotta take your bone away. Unfortunately, I had to put Cody's bone away. He's now looking in the drawer and wondering why I did that. But hey, I gotta do this video. So, yeah, so where was I? Competing. Yeah. So I watched the show in Paris. Great show, loved it, and I was ready. I thought, yeah, I'm gonna get ready. I'm gonna practice posing, get a little bit more lean, and I'm gonna jump on stage. You know, and so I started practicing my posing, and posing is hard. For any of you who've never done a competition, it's a lot harder than it looks, man. It is so hard. Like it's almost like a workout when you're posing. And yeah, I initially started watching videos of people posing. Frank Zane really intrigued me, his posing, I loved it. And yeah, so I was watching videos of posing. I went to, this is you guys don't know this, but how I met Ulysses is because I was given his name as someone to go to for posing practice. And I went and met him, and he showed me, you know, talked me through my physique, how to hide my weaknesses, how best to perform the poses, you know. And then we hit it off as friends from then. And the rest is history, you know, we've toured and done all sorts of stuff. But yeah, that's how I met him. So I did my first show, won my first show, won the overall. And that was in Rome, and I loved it. It was great. Then I did a few more shows back to back after that. Like I did about 3 shows. I went to Miami, went to Vegas, and this was fantastic for me because I'd never been on like holidays and stuff. When I was a kid, I didn't go on any holidays, 0. And now I was literally traveling the world, Miami, Rome, you know, just like finally getting to see places. So it was fun to do that. But yeah, I placed like 3rd and 4th in the competitions after my first one. And yeah, like I said, it was never really my passion to be a competitive bodybuilder, but I enjoyed the shows. So when I did my last show, which was in Vegas in 2014, I kind of was done with it back then. Like I just thought, okay, I enjoyed this little stint of competing, but I'm not really bothered if I don't do another show, you know? And at that time, things were really kicking off for me in terms of business and traveling, seminars, etc. And I wanted to concentrate on that. So again, when I speak to people and they say, oh, you know, oh, yeah, it can be stressful, you know, because you know, it's hard because this, that, and the other. And then another thing that they say to me is they say, you don't really need to do it for your career. Like you don't need, like, because people would assume that, you know, to build this social media following, it's down to competing. It isn't. But, it's still, that shouldn't stop you from doing it, you know? Like, if you want to do it, you know? But that wasn't the reason for my social media growth, you know? It wasn't the competing. I'm glad I did it, and I enjoyed it, like I said to you guys. But yeah, in terms of keeping it up, it's just not something that captures me. I mean, I've judged a few shows now. So after my last competition, I then started to travel the world and judge shows. I judged shows in Kuwait, I judged shows in Las Vegas, I judged shows in all over the world, Poland, I think. I've judged a few shows. And every time I'm in the crowd judging a show, I get excited and I want to be up on stage. I'm like, damn, man. I leave the show excited, wanting to improve my physique, you know? But it's short-lived because it never really gets me back on stage, but it gets me excited, you know? And yeah, so I still love competitive bodybuilding in terms of watching it. I'm actually going to the Olympia next week in Las Vegas. This is how you know that I really didn't have an interest in competitive bodybuilding before. So years back, when I went to the Olympia, and I just used to go to the expo, I was just probably what was that? Yeah, I was a guest at different stands for the expo. And I always used to have the availability, like the tickets, to go to the actual show, to watch the bodybuilders, and I never did. Like I'd be too tired after the expo and I wouldn't go and watch them. That would show you, you know, that I really didn't have an interest in it, because I know loads of people would like kill for tickets to go and see the Olympia. But then last year, after the expo, so I exhibited, no, I didn't exhibit, I did a seminar at the Olympia Expo, both days. And then, yeah, I went to the show and it was fantastic. It was awesome. It was just amazing to watch, you know? And yeah, so this next week, I'll be exhibiting at the Olympia. And then after the Olympia, I'm gonna go watch the show. So I've actually got some friends that are competing. My friend Stan's competing, Dexter Jackson, who I see every day in the gym and we're always chatting, he's competing. Sean Roden, who I've had sessions with, and we're friends, he's competing, you know? So it's gonna be great to have people I know on the Olympia stage, you know? My friend Stan, particularly, because I've just seen him in the gym every day working hard. This has been his dream, you know, and it'll be I really do hope that he places very well, because like he's such a cool guy, and he really deserves it. But yeah, it's going to be fantastic watching. Oh, also, how can I forget my boy Ryan Terry, another Brit, is going to be on that stage, and I hope he does really well. I'm going to be rooting for you, Ryan. So yeah, so I've got people that are going to be on stage, and I'm excited to watch the show. You know, it's going to be awesome. But yeah, in terms of me competing, guys, unfortunately, it's just not something that captures my interest. It's not why I'm in the game, man. I'm in the game because I love training, you know, and that's fine. Some of you guys have got to understand, there's a lot of us that are like me. We just train because we love it, and we train hard. And it's funny because I've seen messages. I had a message one time by someone saying, if you're not competing, why do you train so hard? Boy, you really don't get it, man. Like this is because I love it, man. And training for me is about progress. I've got to progress. You know, there's got to be some sort of progress, whether it's strength, whether it's improving my physique. And that is why I train intense. Like, and the actual act of training intense, man. Like, the video that you're gonna see before this one is a session, a shoulder session that I did with Frank and Tracy. Frank is Bounty Tank, by the way. We killed that session. That session was like amazing. We were buzzing afterwards. That was energy. That was bodybuilding, you know? That was building the actual physique. Yeah, we loved it. And that's why I train, you know? But for that gets me gassed, man. That gets me so amped, man. That's what I love. And that's what I try and put out to you guys. That is my whole point of doing YouTube, you know, or Instagram. I love training. I want you guys to love it too. I want you to experience what I experience. I want you to get the same buzz. I want you to experience the health benefits, the lifestyle. I want to share it, you know? So that's why I train, you know? And for you guys that might have just started, consistency is key. Like I said, told you guys, I've been training 18 years, no breaks. I've been very fortunate. I've not had a single injury in the whole time I've been training, not one. You know, people will say, oh, I had to have a month off because I tore my bicep or I tore this, etc. I've not had any injuries. I've been very fortunate. I've trained smart, you know, and yeah, and I've been consistent. So that's why I train, man. I train because I love it to bits, man. So yeah, in terms of competing, I'm not gonna rule it out and say I'm never gonna compete again, because who knows? But I just know that for me, it's the love of training, and it's okay to just love training and not want to compete. You know, that's fine. But if you do want to compete, yo, give it your best. Like my guys that are gonna do the Olympia, give it your best, give it your all. It's been fantastic getting back on the mic and talking to you guys. I love this, and yeah, it's gonna be a new topic on the next one. But yeah, maybe I'll start off these first few with just answering the questions that you guys ask me frequently. So this was one that I get all the time. Hopefully I've answered it for you and you understand my perspective on things and how I think when it comes to training. And yeah, gonna keep them up. Guys, please subscribe. I am gonna try and bring you awesome content, cinematic training, full of knowledge, full of information. And yeah, I'm gonna keep doing that. So subscribe to the channel, por favor. Also, I just wanna let you guys in on something that you might not know. Now, I might sound a little nasally, and I always have. And some of you guys have probably wondered why, you know? I've got this thing where I can pretty much breathe clearly through just one nostril, always had it. And I actually went to the doctors to get it checked, and they booked me for a nose specialist to check, and I missed the appointment. So it's something I still need to get checked. But just to show you why I might always sound nasally, or always might sniff, this is why. Nice and clear on one side. And that's a permanent thing. I've always had that. And Lord knows, I would love to know what my performance would be like if I was able to breathe through both nostrils. Because as much as your strength is important in terms of, as much as your muscles are important, your breathing affects that, you know, how much oxygen you can provide to your muscles. So I would love to know what my performance would be like if I did manage to actually be able to breathe through both nostrils. But that's something that I'm gonna look into and hopefully get sorted at some point. Maybe have to have an operation or something, I don't know. But yeah, that's something you guys don't know. But if you ever wondered why I sound nasally, that is why. Yo, it's been fantastic. I've loved talking to you guys. Can't wait to do it again. Peace.